Hey folks, it's CJ Miller. I'm here in my apartment in Shreveport, Louisiana, across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. Do come check us out on your summer and spring vacations. And yeah, let us know what you think. Uh, okay, so I'm here with my canvas that I've been working on. Um, and you can trace the progress of this in videos that I've made. Um, this is the first painting that I've done in a few years, actually, from scratch. You know, uh, I painted for a while, took a break for a while because I wanted to. Sometimes when you're working on a skill and then you step away, you can come back to it, and there's a newness. And that's what we've done here. So I started with this canvas. It was a white canvas, not a very expensive one, but it wasn't cheap. Uh, But anyway, um, and what I did was I started with the white canvas, and then I started with the um, let's see, the titanium white, and what is the name of the blue? It's here. Um, I can't pronounce it. Pathalio blue, whatever. These are not like wonderful. As I started painting, I realized, okay, well, they're somewhat translucent rather than a more opaque color. So I went a little bit thicker with them than I would like. Started out with a kind of a watery effect in the background, and this whole thing was blue. Then I started painting the cityscape, kind of inspired by what I would see outside. Uh, and I didn't worry about getting too crispy. And the reason why is I knew where I was going with this, meaning that I was going to paint in some weather in the middle ground coming to the foreground. And we were going to get uh, kind of some sheeting effect and streaks and everything of rainfall on the window. And that was kind of going to blur the view. And that's what we're working on. And I feel looking at this, and I just did some touch up, and I'll tell you about it. But I feel like I'm working towards really accomplishing this, and I'm really happy with it. Okay, so the effect, I got the worked for a lot, probably for a couple of months now on the view that we were going to be seeing before I got to the 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 weather that was going to be on the window pane. Um, and then I went in and I put in some shadows of the streaks, the darkness, uh, using an uh, ebony black. That's what they're calling it. And so at once, this is a window with its streaks and everything. Window panes. You can clean them, but there's always some sort of streak or smudge or something. Uh, but then I also wanted to went over that and put in with titanium white some highlights, giving just a little bit of what's going to represent, the rainfall of the water or something coming down. And uh, I'm pretty happy with the results. The more you lean back from it, the better it's going to be. There are some effects that I still want to work on with this weather, but I feel like we're really, really getting there. I want to work on putting some individual raindrops as they. Uh, I've got the streaking effect. I want to get some individual rain splats as they would hit on the window and kind of splatter the water. I want some specks of that effect, not too much. But this is the whole idea, is that we're going to be looking at this through this rainy day through a window. Um, why a rainy day? I looked at a video or something at some point, and decided that I liked the effect, and I wanted to see if I could recreate it in my own way, putting my own touches and a bit of myself onto it. And I'm really, really happy with it. And so we've got some straight up foreground, and it gives itself to perspective as we're looking at it. It almost looks as if we're looking at it, and the view is from a point that our vantage, that everything sort of like leans out, uh, and then goes further in the background. And the more we play around with it, the and further in the distance, the blurrier everything gets. And even the parts in the background that were a little bit more defined than even I would have liked, they have become blended in this effect. Still, we have the steeple on this chapel that is clear enough, but not so much that it's overtaking, because I'm not making a spiritual comment with this. It just happens to be there's a steeple that I look at when I look out of my own window, so I kind of wanted that. Actually, there's a couple of them. There's a couple of churches, uh, two or three of them that I could look at, and even if I can't see, you know, even if I can't see them, I know that they're there, and so in my mind, it's like, okay, steeple, right beyond that, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, I actually have grown to this little imperfection there where I didn't fill in. I'm thinking that's kind of a reflection of a mirrored building that's actually a high rise in my neighborhood, but here it's more of almost a low rise, almost whatever. Um, but yeah, I'm really, 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 really ecstatic that I'm able to pull off some of these effects, and it doesn't seem as if I'm entirely ruining the canvas. When you try something new, it's like, oh my god, and then what you do at that point, it's like maybe smooth it out and cover it all up and start from scratch. There are a lot of painters, a lot of the great works of art that you will see in your museums, the real classic ones, the ones that go back a couple of centuries, and they're famous and you know them. Underneath are other pieces of work on the canvas, other attempts that weren't going well, and basically they just covered them up and painted over them, uh, the originals, because supplies are expensive, and that's why sometimes I can regift, do something like this and then gift it to someone. I did a smaller oil painting uh, for my dad. It's probably about that, and it's basically just a seascape, with oil. And from that, I did a couple of those. I worked with oil a couple of times, and then I realized, I can kind of accomplish some of the effects that I'd like to accomplish with the acrylic paints, and actually get it done faster, because oil takes forever to dry, even if you hit it with a blow dryer or something. So, so I kind of got over that oil. Plus, oil, is very difficult. If it gets on something, it's very difficult to clean. So getting in here, like I said, when you get in real close, it's like looking at learning the secrets of a magic trick. But I have put specks of white in with the specks of black. Occasionally have given a highlight to some of the black specks. Uh, and yeah, because this is not black hole uh, falling from the sky, it's wet rain. So there's some more work to be done there. Um, I'm probably going to have to, before it's all over with, and I'll have to be careful not to overdo that effect. Because just the occasional highlighting will trick the mind, and you think that you're seeing a lot more highlighting than what you're seeing. But when you do put some highlight uh, on rain or weather like this, what happens is you bring it further into the line of sight, and when you leave it dark and shadowy, it's further off, regardless of individual size of the raindrops. But I want to work on that, and there's some, you know, places on the canvas that could use a little bit more fill in so we don't have too much negative space, but it's okay to have some in that atmosphere so that it can draw attention to the work that's been done uh, in creating uh, the clouds. But I'm really happy with this one. And even still, once we get this window pane uh, done, you know, the painting itself is not going to be done. There is more that's going on here that's going to really, really make that study in perspective pop, come into focus, if you will, you know. So, having said all this, I'm working on dinner, so I'm going to say love and light, peace, God bless, and good night.